I wanted to start with something you'd said in a previous interview, which I thought was incredibly profound. And also considering how young you are, like there's so much wisdom there. And you said, make me invisible so they might only see you and give me how and what to minister to your people. Why do you pray that prayer?
Um, wow, that's emotional for me. So my dad, when I first started singing, going out places, he would teach me, pretty much train me in not only just singing, but ministering, and what this is all really about. And he taught me a prayer. And he said, every time you sing, you pray this prayer. Before you sing, you take your moment and connect with God before you minister to people, because you always have to make sure that it's not about your flesh in this moment. And it was a very simple prayer back then, but as I got older, I was like, Lord, I want to add a little something to this. And I just wanted, a lot of people loved my voice and the different things that I can do, but I'm like, Lord, make me invisible so that men might only see you through me. And give me how and what to minister to your people. Sometimes a lot of us can get caught up in all of the tricks and all the fun stuff and we lose that side. And that side should be at the forefront. That side should be leading. The Holy Spirit should be leading. So that's where that came from, and that's what I stick to this very day.
I this was not on my list of questions, but
Okay.
something that I've learned in my 38 years is to be very careful with my prayers because the Lord will deliver if I'm not specific about the
Absolutely.
prayers that I pray. And so for you to even consider, Lord, make me invisible is so profound. And I just wanted to tell you how absolutely incredible that is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Something that I think is just amazing about you is like you've already achieved so much. You've already amassed some awards, and but how do you manage your faith and faithfulness during difficult times?
It is not always easy. We are all human. And anybody that tells you, oh, I just do this, I just do that, listen, I don't know about that, because we are human. Our strive in life is to be more like Jesus, but we are still human. And it takes a lot of prayer. It takes going to church. A lot of people love just saying, oh, I'm gonna stay at home and be online. It's something about when we go and gather in people with like minds and like understandings that literally lifts. Like, I was having a difficult week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was out of town. Didn't know if I wanted to go to church, but my friends were like, no, let's go to church. Like, we're not in our hometown, but let's go to church. And I went to church, and when I tell you, my spirit just leaped because I was in the room with people who truly believed and had faith. And it's things like that really keep us grounded in God. And those are the things that are so important. Reading your word, that is definitely a thing that keeps you through difficult times. A lot of people also, I've been teaching my little brothers, my friends, and stuff like that, who are trying to grow with their relationship with God. Like, you don't have to pray like how they used to pray, like, grandma and granddad, they used to go for it. But God wants conversation. He wants honesty. Like he's your friend, like he's your father, because that's who he is. And he wants to know those things that you feel like you can't talk. Those are the things that he wants to know. And I think it's that relationship that really helps us through difficult times, because then we begin to trust, then we begin to believe, then we begin to hope, and that increases our faith. And then when you have that, it's like, well, let the world come at me, I have Jesus.
As someone who's also dealt with like some grief, a lot of grief in my life, and I think about what legacy means to me. And I hope it's okay that I ask.
Yes.
You've dealt with some very, very deep, profound grief in your life. And
Yes.
still, you could have used it as an excuse to not have faith. You could have used it as an excuse to be angry with the Lord. And to some certain extent, rightfully so. I mean, like I know the Lord and I just, if I could be honest, the Lord and I, we gonna have some discussions when my time comes, because you owe me some answers. I love you, but you owe me
Yes.
some answers
Yes.
for
Yes.
for some of the things that I've dealt with. But because of that grief, it's also changed the way that I view legacy and what that means to me and to my children and my children's children. And
Yeah.
so you won Sunday Best. You have been nominated for multiple Grammys, including two this past, in 2025 Grammys. You've won Stellar Awards. You have a Dove Award. Walk me through what legacy and hope looks like to you.
Ooh, you getting me today. I'm trying to hold it together here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. No, it is an honor to carry legacy. There were those times where I was like, God, when people get oil, things have to be crushed and they have to be pressed, and it looks ugly. That comes from it and now the pain we go through. That's the hard part to deal with, because yeah, we want the oil of the Lord, but why do we have to go through this pain? I have seen God take me from here to there just by trusting in him, just by having that faith and believing that it was going to turn out well, that I stayed doing what I was doing, because I could have, like, I really wanted to at times just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to go into my little cave and not be seen. Like, I was there. No, God was like, come into the light, like, keep pressing, keep that smile on your face. And literally I have watched God. That's why I sing and do the thing. I've watched God turn it around for me, and he has literally pulled me through. He's holding me together even now, even through this season. Like, I just feel him every day holding me up, holding me together, and I have no choice, no room to doubt him. And that's what I want, my legacy to be. My legacy, I'm carrying the legacy of my parents, but my legacy, I want that to be trust God in all things. Absolutely.
Question that we get asked as millennials and Gen Z, and
Mhm.
the way that gospel music has changed and shifted. I remember, I'm a PK, by the way, so don't mind some of my questions.
Don't, please, I'm here
I,
with it.
I remember like Diedrich Haddon being an issue because the music was sounding a little too secular. I remember even like Kirk Franklin and having questions surrounding like the pureness or the sanctity of what gospel music is supposed to be. With gospel music evolving and then artists are blending some of the secular sounds and collaborations with mainstream artists, do you feel that this strengthens the genre by reaching new audiences, or does it dilute the message of the gospel?
That's literally what I was about to say. We have to stop caging ourselves in gospel music. There is a world of people out there that is in the secular world that only know Jesus because of a Dietrich Haddon put out this bop that sounds secular, but it's about Jesus. Like, when are we gonna branch out and reach these people? And that's what I love to do now. I don't know how I'm gonna sound doing a R&B type gospel sounding song, but I wouldn't be opposed to
Amazing.
it because no, thank you. But I wouldn't be
Amazing.
opposed to it because that is going to reach more people. That is going to lead people to say, okay, this is a bot, but what is he actually singing about? Okay, who is Jesus? And that's what opens the door. So I'm not mad. Like, I'm not mad at those type of things, like I really appreciate. Now we do got to be careful on certain, there's certain lines we don't need to cross, but I am all for it. I'm all for reaching out. That's what I want to do, especially with this next album I'm working on. I'm looking for ways to keep the tradition of church, but branch out even more so I can reach more people so they can inquire about who Jesus is.
Are
So
we getting a covered too? Is that what you're saying? Am I getting an
somebody
exclusive?
else asked me that, and I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't say yes right now.
Very, very fair. Talk to me about the wins, the accolades, the Grammys. What does that feel like for you in this season of your life?
It is unexplainable. It's like, God, I don't deserve this. I don't. But I'm grateful. Like, I'm super grateful. A lot of times there were so many times where I felt like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't qualified to even do what I was doing back then.
Wow.
But to be Grammy nominated, to be a Stellar Award winner, a Dove Award winner, it's like God is reminding me that no, you are good enough. You're good enough to be in the rooms that you're in. I put you here. I made you, and that just makes my heart so glad. But it's not all about the awards for me. Like, I'm so grateful. My goal is to lead people to Jesus. So no matter if I win or lose, like, I'm not gonna be distraught, devastated, because I know where my treasure is. So, but I'm so excited my Grammy day is coming. I'll tell you that. My Grammy day is coming. And until then, I'll be working like I'm working.
You're headlining with Doe, Celebrate Gospel, and it's a stage that has showcased some incredible legends. So, what message do you want to leave in that moment, and how do you plan to make the performance unforgettable?
Yes. Well, I want people to leave with hope. There's a lot of crazy things going on in this world, and it can really make a lot of people sad and frustrated. But I want people to leave with joy. I want people to come to the concert and forget about their troubles, even if it's only for a little while, and just receive a little strength, a little hope, joy, laugh a little bit because I love to tell corny jokes. But I just want people to feel a little bit lighter than when they came in. I'm excited for people to even be walking through the park and not even knowing that there's a concert going on, to hear our voices and just to be like, hey, what's going on here? And then they inquire and be like, oh, this is about Jesus. Like those are the things that I'm excited about. And I can't wait. Like it's gonna be we're planning some amazing stuff. I love Disney. You might hear a little Disney song come out of me at the concert. We never know. But I'm truly excited about leaving that message.
It has truly been a pleasure. And this isn't typical of my work, but what I do want to tell you is sometimes the only Jesus people get to meet is through you, and your light shines. And it's been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was like one of the best interviews I've ever had.
Thank you. Thank you so, so. Thank you, Chance.